What's up, my homies? How's everyone doing? Do you guys want to learn how to squat again? Do you want to reclaim your genetic potential? Stay tuned. What if I told you that you already know how to squat? You just forgot. Every single person, as long as you weren't born with any deformities or disabilities, has been able to squat since they were a little kid. Okay, I'm going to put in some footage of my baby squatting. She started squatting when she was about a year old, maybe a little bit less. And I have an 8-month-old as well who's now starting to show signs of her first squat. Okay, so kids start learning their first squat from about 9 months to a year old, and then they squat ideally for the rest of their life. So it's one of the first movements we learn as a human being, and there's a couple of reasons for this. One, it is the natural resting position for the human body. Okay, in this video, here I'll show you. I'm sitting in a squat the entire time. Okay, I am not going to move. It's very comfortable for me. It's the body's natural way to rest. Okay, so one, the squat is a natural resting point. Two, the squat is also designed for you to go potty. All right. Well, in this case, just to defecate or urinate out on the natural world. Okay. So a lot of places don't have potties. They have holes which they squat down onto and poop or pee into the ground. All right. So if you've ever been outside the United States into a country that's not quite as wealthy as we are here, all people there know how to squat. Why? The main reason is they have to do it all the time. One, they don't have chairs. Two, they don't have toilets. So they just sit in the squat like this all the time, multiple times throughout the day. I'll probably be sitting in this squat for another 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm probably going to feel a lot better afterwards too, because I haven't been squatting too much today. I've been out running around doing stuff. Another great advantage of doing the squat is your low back gets a chance to turn off and rest. When you're sitting in a chair, your low back is in a weird compressed position. When you're sitting in a squat, your low back gets to kind of relax, shut off. And so if you have low back problems, start squatting some more and your back is going to feel a heck of a lot better. It definitely worked for me when I needed it. Your knee range of motion is also going to go way up. So when you start squatting, you're not going to, and I'm not the most mobile person, but when you start squatting, your butt isn't going to be that close to your ankles. It's probably going to be a little bit higher, all right? Because your knees are so dang tight, and your hips are too, but your knees are tight. And so getting to this position is not going to be comfortable. So my recommendation is stay down in the squat as long as you can and get back out of it. Kind of let the circulation get back in there. And the last but not least, guys, if you never squat, your ankles are going to get trashed. They're going to get stiff. They're going to get tight, especially if you have poor running technique. And I'm assuming if you go out running, all right? But if you don't squat, your ankles are going to stay tight probably for the rest of your life. To sum it up, squat's good for resting. It's good for going poop, all right? Get a squatty potty if you don't have one, shameless plug. It's good for your low back. It's good for increasing your knee range of motion, reducing knee pain, as well as increasing your ankle range of motion. And probably also if you guys suffer from like plantar fasciitis, all right, this will help reduce that as well, more than likely. Okay, so now that I've hounded on the importance of the squat, and I'm not even talking about heavy back squats. That's more advanced. I'm just talking about the basic human squatting position, which is what I'm doing right now. What I need to teach you guys is how to relearn or reclaim your ability to squat. I'm assuming you have 2 legs, which means you have 2 ankles, 2 knees, and your legs connect at the hip joint. All right, and if you have a torso, then you can probably squat. Now, if you have like, some prior knee surgeries, be careful. You don't want to push it too far too much. Now, I have seen people with reconstructed knees be able to progress in their squat. Just be very careful. You don't want to go too hard too fast. Now, luckily, I haven't seen anyone get hurt from sitting in a squat, even with, you know, post knee surgery, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So how do you learn how to squat? You want to be able to get lower over time. So here's a good example. You sit in a chair, all right? Most people sit in a chair and it doesn't affect them, all right? The next thing you need to do is either prop your feet up on something, so when you're sitting on the chair, your knees are higher up, or you need to find something lower to sit on, okay? So I'm gonna show a quick example of finding something lower to sit on, and this should help you guys progress through your squat. So here's a normal chair, whatever, I'm sitting in it. I would say my hips right now are directly at the same level, so they're on the same parallel line as my knees. All right, and you want to avoid sitting in a position like this for too long. All right, so we go to this chair, and you can probably see here this little railroad tie. All right, I'm gonna sit on this railroad tie, and now I kind of tell you where my hip is relative to my knee. So you can see from the side here, my knee is higher than my hip, all right? And then so on and so forth. If you can hold this position just fine, and I'm sitting on it, I'm not in an active position, then you want to try a wall squat. So here we go, we're going to the wall of the house, right here. Everyone has a wall. Get your feet about a foot away from the wall. Now, depending on your flexibility, you might have to get your feet farther away. But then I'm just going to sit down as low as I can into my squat. Okay, so I'm going to put this down a little bit. Try not to get a crotch shot in too much. As you can see, I'm here against the wall. My butt is a couple inches from the ground. But, you know, if your ankles are tight, this is the best position for you to be in. And if your knees are tight, which most people have tight knees and tight ankles since they don't squat. So in this position, you don't have to have great ankle range of motion to be able to sit into it, and it helps stretch out the knee quite aggressively, which is a good thing. But again, don't push it too far too fast. Ease your way into it, especially if you have prior knee injuries, all right, or surgeries. But again, I'm going to get off the wall, come back over here to where I was squatting earlier, do a little duck walk, get there. Good. And we're back at base. Guys, if everyone knew how to squat and didn't forget it, I don't think we would have the majority of problems that we do in modern society. I think people's knees would be healthier, therefore they're at much lower risk of having knee surgery. I think their backs would be healthier, so you'd see a lot less occurrences of back pain, and people would have less instances of probably fasciitis, because it helps loosen up the back end of the ankle, therefore the bottom of your foot. Okay, but I hope that was a help, guys. I really truly believe the squat is medicine. It's medicine for the body, and if you're not doing it, start doing it. And for you guys who, let's say you're power lifters, that's fine. Squat heavy, you know, maybe not quite full range of motion, because I understand that you guys are going for maximum weights, but make sure that you guys in your resting time, on your off time, that you are squatting full range of motion to keep your joints healthy so you can lift those maximal weights. But that's it, guys. I really hope this helps. Have a good one. I'm going to enjoy this perfect day, this perfect weather. Have a good one. Peace.